So there is much discussion and debate and various dates given around the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ and the year in which it took place. The accepted dates run from 30 AD to 33 AD as the most agreed, argued dates. So 30, 31, 32, 33, and in that time period they would have had the death and resurrection of Jesus argued on various points all through that period. Now, me personally, having done a lot of research into this, you can go and look on this channel for my 30 AD video, for example, and diving into Jewish historical documents, normal historical documents, and other great minds that have really drilled into this. It really is very clear to me that it's 30 AD. I want to read you one more piece now, again from another source, to point out the same thing. And it all comes down to Daniel's 70 weeks that is ascribed to his people, of which 69 are completed, and we're awaiting the 70th week, which is the time of tribulation. The basic outline of the chronology is fairly clear, even though there is a debate on some of the dates. A specified period of time elapses from the decree given to restore and rebuild Jerusalem until the Messiah comes. After his coming and his death, verse 26 in Daniel, the city of Jerusalem and the temple will be destroyed. In view of the historic context and date of Daniel, this is a reference to the second temple. Since Jerusalem and the second temple were destroyed by the Romans in 70 AD, Daniel predicts Messiah's coming and death must occur before 70 AD. So that's the other problem the Jews today have. They're still waiting for a Messiah, but the Messiah they're waiting for cannot be the true Messiah because they have to rip out the book of Daniel and throw it out of their writings, because he says he must come before the second temple is destroyed. And the second temple is already destroyed, which means what? Common sense, Messiah has already come. So you need to actually be looking who was Messiah. Only one person fits that bill. Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus of Nazareth, was the Messiah, is the Messiah. But they don't want to accept that. Besides the point. Now, since the decree mentioned by Daniel is probably that of Artaxerxes, in his 7th year, Ezra 9 verse 9, the chronology can be made more precise. The decree would then have been issued in 458 BCE. Verse 25 indicates that 483 years, 69 weeks, would elapse until Messiah comes. Adjusting for the absence of the year 0, Messiah's coming is then expected in the year 26 BC, or 26 AD, right? So 26 was the year that he came. This accords well with Yeshua's death and resurrection in 30 AD after a public ministry of 3+ years. Now that is tying into Daniel chapter 9, talking about the 70 weeks decreed for the people. So 30 AD. And now why does 30 AD work so perfectly? Again, go watch my videos and teachings I made on this, search for it. It ties in with a lot of other prophecies. 40 years are set aside for Judah, the house of Judah, for their transgression, them not accepting their Messiah. From 30 AD, you add the 40 years that are given them until the destruction, you get to 70 AD on the dot. And that is when the Romans come in and destroy them and disperse them all over the world. Wipe out the temple completely. All as prophesied by Yeshua himself. And it's all exactly as it happened. And then when you go deeper into Jewish teachings and books and historic documents and things, you see how the temple started malfunctioning. Strangely, crazy things started happening directly after 30 AD, the crucifixion and death and resurrection of Jesus Christ the Messiah. The temple malfunctioned, and it kept malfunctioning until it was destroyed. And they take note of exactly what went wrong. And all of it is important things that went wrong. Again, in those teachings that I've done on this. So why is this so important for me, and why is it something I keep standing on? Because many watchmen and many other teachers, as we're still here waiting for the rapture, keep moving the date of Jesus' death and resurrection to fit a timeline so that they can explain when he's coming. 30 AD is the date. You can't move 1948 when Israel was born to fit yourself. You can refer to other events, but they were born in 1948. Jesus died and rose again in 30 AD. Now, why is that important? Because the world, darkness, the devil, evil, the institutions in power and control right now keep screaming and trumpeting one date consistently all the time. 2030. 2030, Agenda 2030, Peace 2030, Women's Initiative 2030, 2030, 2030, 2030. 2030 minus 2,000 years, 30. 30 AD, 2 days. And he comes back 2,000 years to complete 6,000 years of the time of man. Everything fits like Lego perfectly. Trust God. He's in control. He's coming back soon. We're out of time. We fly soon. 30 AD, 2030 AD. There's a reason all these things historically, mathematically, and perfectly align. God bless. Keep looking up. Shalom.